What's up, guys? So, I actually did something kind of major to this car. Oh, I guess it's kind of major. I actually put the car back to stock. So that was done in the plans of that this car will be sold in the near future. And truthfully, I put it all back I say like in the early weeks of September. But to be honest, driving it totally stock, doing the usual, like going to and from work, the gym, all that, it's been pretty good. But this thing is still destined to be sold. That kind of brings in one of the questions. Did I make my car worse with mods? And I would say that's a bit of a yes and no. Yes, in the sense that at least with the setup that I had, the ride was more bouncy. The tire noise was much louder. It was lower, so a little bit more of a pain in the ass to get in and out of. The exhaust actually wasn't super bad. That one, I think, out of all the parts I got, that was the one I was the happiest with. Also, no, in the sense that like a lot of that was done for the looks of the car. I guess side effect, the performance, but let's be real, most of my driving is on roads like this. So the performance aspect is there, but it's not really utilized. And I don't know if I ever really showed this car when it was modified, but if not, then I'll put some pictures on screen. And I'll probably use one of those pictures as the thumbnail. Something I touched on in a previous video. It's been over 3 years with this car. In fact, if I waited until April, it would have been 4. The thing I've said, longest I've ever owned a car. And if someone is in the market for either this or the BRZ, I highly recommend. You really can't go wrong, especially with the second gen. But to wants and needs change over time, and sometimes to accommodate them, other things have to go. Especially now that it feels like in the time that I was car shopping last year, the prices for cars have really they've either held or they've actually went up, which feels weird. I know the market for enthusiast cars doesn't really follow the market for regular cars in general, but ever since the pandemic, the car market's just been weird, both in a good way and a bad way. The M340 would actually be like the perfect next car, but because of the hype around them, they are holding like crazy, and I can't afford one, and I'm not in the mindset of really like spending more than I should on cars. Like, this is like my main hobby, so I'm gonna spend some more money on it than like the average person would. But especially what happens a lot with especially on social media, a lot of people they buy cars which they really don't have any business to. But not my finances, so not my problem. Just that's not something that I'd want to do for myself. All right. So what mods have I done that have actually made a positive impact? Because a little earlier, I think I was a little too negative. So definitely, definitely the a combo of the speakers and the amp. So I have, for the amplifier, I have the I have the Beat Sonic one that plugs into the back of your head unit. And then the speakers, I have the Kicker KS speakers. I have those in the doors, the dash, and the back. Is that a fucking F chassis with a G? Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, and then also the sound deadening. I think that, yeah, the sound deadening and the speaker stuff were the most important things. Especially the sound deadening. This car is, you hear everything. Which, you know, for the purpose of the car is great. But for daily driving, especially highway driving, it gets old fast. And realistically, you're not adding that much weight. All right, I got pulled over here last time, so we're gonna be on our best behavior. Yep, 25. We are going 25. And I'm doing a little group drive with my one friend who was actually there with me when I got pulled over, so he knows what's up. As much as I like the HKS, there is something to be said about having a quiet car. And mainly with it just like being like really like, it's just, you are in stealth mode all the time. So something about these cars is they just have a really loud cold start, which even in something as quiet as, I believe I had the L2, like that's one of the most quiet aftermarket exhausts you can get. But even then, the cold start is loud, which, you know, that's just how it is with these cars. And while it's not like the end of the world, you do feel a little bad for your neighbors. Well, some people don't care, but like it's still loud, but it just sounds, it's nothing bad. And regardless of if you have the factory exhaust or any kind of aftermarket exhaust, the car calms down after like maybe 10 seconds. 15 if it's a cold day outside. I think as far as like mods go, because I never went too crazy into this car. Well, I never go too crazy into any cars I've owned. I think this car, both stock and modified, like, there's things to appreciate with both, and depending on if you want to either keep it stock or you want to modify, you'll be happy either way. But of course, if you modify, spend the extra money and buy the right thing the first time, because, well, I'm the type of person where like I hate selling things on Marketplace, which by the way, my parts are for sale. But I hate selling things on Marketplace, so especially if you want to keep this thing, or really any car, long term, it's worth spending the extra money and buying the right part the first time. Especially, like, nobody needs like a set of coilovers. Nobody needs some aftermarket wheels. Like, these are not things which are really time sensitive. So just wait a little bit longer, save up a little bit more, and you should buy what you actually want. This may be the last video with the 86, because this will be going pretty soon. So with this car, it's been a fun ride. But new experiences must be had and good things must come to an end. But for now, I'll be ending the video here. Please like and subscribe if you found any part of this useful or helpful, or if you found any of my past videos useful or helpful. Have a good one, and I'll see you at the next video.